Okay, we're just gonna wait a couple minutes, see if we get a few more people to hop on, and then we will start. I know it is 10:01. Alrighty, guess what? We're gonna get started. So right now you are looking at a pink toe tarantula that we will talk about. I'm gonna turn my screen around here. Hello, and I'm gonna set it up here so I don't have my jiggly hands. All right. So good morning, all of my bug friends. My name is Jenny Mitchell, and I run the insect zoo at Iowa State University, and I'm also an entomologist. So an entomologist is a scientist who studies bugs. But as an entomologist, we don't only study bugs. We get to study the largest group of animals on Earth called arthropods. Now, if you've watched my other videos, you already know these things, which is good. But there might be some new friends joining us today, so I'm going to explain again what an arthropod is. So arthropods are animals, just like a cat and a dog are animals. Humans are animals. But arthropods have different characteristics than things like mammals, like we do. We have bones inside of our body, and we have a spine that runs down our back. Well, arthropods, they do not have bones inside their body. Their bones are on the outside of the body. Does anybody know what that's called? It is an exoskeleton. So arthropods have exoskeletons, or bones on the outside of the body. So you are not an arthropod at all. So what are arthropods? Those are insects, spiders, tarantulas, millipedes, centipedes, scorpions, shrimp, crabs, and lobsters. So lots and lots of animals. In fact, there are more arthropods on our planet than any other animal combined. That is a lot of animals, which is one of the great things about being an entomologist, is we have so many animals that we get to study. So today, I am going to share with you some tarantulas. Then we're also going to talk about true spiders and centipedes. And the centipedes is at the request of my 5-year-old Ren. So I want to take a second to say, hi Ren, hi Poppy. They are at home watching right now. Okay, so why did I choose to talk about arboreal tarantulas, and why are they called arboreal tarantulas? Arboreal means up above in the trees. So arboreal tarantulas are those tarantulas that do not live on the ground. They live up in the trees. They like high places. And I separated these from the tarantulas that live on the ground because, my friends, we have a lot of tarantulas. So if I just did all of the tarantulas at the same time, we would be here for like 3 hours. So I am splitting them up into 2 groups. So next live, which will be Monday at 10 a.m., we are going to do terrestrial tarantulas, or the tarantulas that live down on the ground. But today we are talking about arboreal tarantulas. So what makes a tarantula a tarantula? Well, tarantulas have 2 body parts, and they have 8 legs, 4 on each side. That's just like the scorpions that we looked at on Monday. So scorpions are an arachnid. Tarantulas are also arachnids. So they have the 2 body parts and they have 8 legs, which is different than insects. Insects have 3 body parts and 6 legs. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a warning here. So I am going to, some of the tarantulas, I'm gonna actually take out and I'm gonna hold them on my hands. Now, I do not suggest holding a tarantula at your home. And the reason I am holding the tarantula is so it's easier for you to see them up close, but also because I am a professional. So I do this for my job. I have been doing it for many, many years, and I know how to typically handle the tarantulas. These arboreal tarantulas are very fast. So it may look like that they're running and they're getting away, but typically I know what is going on, okay? So it'll be completely all right. There are some tarantulas that I'm not going to touch, and we are gonna talk about those tarantulas first. So I'm gonna bring my first friend up here, and I'm gonna grab my camera and I'm gonna turn it around. You ready? Oh, look at this beautiful tarantula right here. Now this tarantula right here is an Indian ornamental tarantula. Now I'm not going to use all of the scientific names for these tarantulas, and there's a couple reasons. One is because they are changing all the time. So sometimes a tarantula will be named something and then a different scientist will say, no, that's not what that is. So then they change the name of it. But this tarantula right here, its name has not changed in a long time. This is a Polyciatheria regalis, and I'm gonna show you the little name tag there. So usually scientific names are very hard to say, and this is one of them. So Polyciatheria regalis. That is the scientific name for this tarantula. And you see this really big word right here, Polyciatheria. This is called the genus. So the genus is a group of tarantulas that are very similar. And then this regalis is the species. That means that this is the only kind in this genus. So there are many species or kinds in one genus. And I have 3 species in this genus that we are going to talk about today. Okay, let's get back up here on the tarantula. Her little web is in the way. Okay, so this is an Indian ornamental tarantula. These are found in India and Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is an island about the size of West Virginia that is off of India. Now, Sri Lanka is a very heavily forested area, which is why it makes the perfect place for arboreal tarantulas to live. Remember, the arboreal tarantulas are tarantulas that live up in the trees. So you may notice that this tarantula is very beautifully colored. Those beautiful colors are also bright. You see that black and white and gray. Now you may also be able to see some yellow on her front legs. Let me see where I put my forceps at. So if you look, let me see if I can get up here. Whoop, hello. Look at right there. You see right in that area behind what would be her knee, there's yellow on there. Now, I'm gonna move the camera for a moment and I'm gonna turn her enclosure around so that you can see. I'm gonna try to do it without frightening her. Hello. Come on. The underside of her body. Look at that. Isn't that tarantula just beautiful? So beautiful. Oh, she's gonna move. Okay, so you see the yellow markings on her legs? So what does it mean when an animal is brightly colored? Does anybody know? When an animal is brightly colored, they are telling you that they are dangerous. And this tarantula is dangerous, which is why I am not taking it out of its enclosure. So you remember I talked about the genus and the species. Over here I have another example. So genus, Polyciatheria, and this one right here is Metallica. So genus, species. So this genus, this group of tarantulas are the most venomous tarantulas that we know of. Now, there are no hardcore scientific studies on the venom of these tarantulas and the effects or what it causes to humans, but there are lots of people who keep tarantulas as a pet. That's right. Lots of people keep tarantulas as pets. Now, you can't take them out and walk them. You can't really pet them, but instead you keep them because they're beautiful and what a crazy, awesome animal to keep. So those people who keep them as pets, we call them hobbyists. So it's their hobby to keep tarantulas and breed tarantulas. And sometimes those people get bitten by these tarantulas. So that's how we know what it feels like to be bitten by one of these tarantulas. Do you want me to describe it? Ooh, I see a question here. How old is the tarantula? You know what? We're going to talk about that in just a minute. If you don't mind waiting, I will talk about how old the tarantulas get and how old these tarantulas are. So first I'm going to talk about the venom of the tarantula. So this tarantula's venom, if you were bitten, because they are venomous. What is venom? You see right here, there's her fangs. Let me see if I can get up a little bit closer to that. Her fangs there. Yeah, look at that. You see her fangs right there? She's just putting on a show for us today. Right here are her fangs. So venom and poison are different, but they're also similar. So venom is a poison that is injected or put into something with fangs or a stinger. In this case, they use fangs. They don't have a stinger, although you may see this back here. Those are not stingers, those are spinnerets. That's how they make their web. So they use their fangs, and they use that to slow down or even kill their prey. So this tarantula eats mostly flying insects because remember, they're up in the trees. But they don't use their web to catch their food. They sit and they wait to feel something that's coming along, and then they jump on it, or pounce on it is a better word. These ones can't really jump. They pounce on it, just like a cat might be stalking a little mouse and then the cat just pounces on it. And they insert or put in their fangs so that it can put the venom into the body. Okay, so what does it feel like to be bitten by an Indian ornamental tarantula? Well, first of all, I've never been bitten by a tarantula at all. So I can't tell you how it feels for me, but I can tell you how it feels for other people. So if you are bitten by one of these tarantulas and it gives all of its venom to you, so they can give you no venom at all, or they can give you a little bit, or they can give you all of the venom they have stored in their body. So if you get all of it, it's gonna hurt very, very, very bad all over your whole body, not just where you were bitten. It can also cause very, very strong muscle pains and spasms, or when you like shake, when you have like a twitch. It can also cause you to have a high fever. You'll be upset to your stomach, so your stomach will hurt, and you could throw up. So a high fever, you could have, you'd be sweating. It's gonna hurt really bad, and it can cause your muscles to go paralyzed where you were bitten. And that means that if you are bitten in your hand, then you wouldn't be able to move your hand. Now, all of those things only last a short time. So they don't last forever. They just last a little bit of time, maybe up to 2 days, and then it'll go away. Now, that's very scary, isn't it? Yeah, I see some sad faces and even a mad face. But all this animal is doing is trying to protect itself. What does it need to protect itself from? Predators. There are lots of animals that want to eat these tarantulas. So it uses the venom to protect itself from the larger animals that want to eat it. That is very important. I know if something was trying to eat me, I would protect myself from being eaten. Now also, do you remember how we talked about the bright colors of this tarantula? And bright colors on an animal mean danger. I am dangerous. So this animal is already telling us that it is dangerous. Now I wanted to show you some of her beautiful webs. So she just got her enclosure cleaned. I know it doesn't look like it. Do you see these little white dots all over here? Let's see if I get over here. You see all these white specks all over here? You know what that is? There's one right here by her mouth. That is her poop, which is actually called frass. So her enclosure did just get cleaned. So when that happens, we have to move the web. Now we try not to move all of it. So she doesn't have as much webbing in here as she usually does. But you can see she makes what I call tarantula hammocks. And there's another tarantula I'm going to show you that has a great tarantula hammock. Okay, so this tarantula right here, I would say that she is about, let me just think for a moment. I got her when she was a little baby, so she is about 7 years old. That's how old this tarantula is. Now she is sexually mature, which means that she is ready to have babies, but we don't have a male. So in order for them to have babies, they have to have a male. Now these tarantulas, or this tarantula right here, usually lives about 7 years, but they could live up to 14 or more years. Just the females. The males, they don't live very long. They live about 3 to 5 years. That's it. Okay, so now I'm going to move over to a different tarantula. This one's going to be super awesome. I don't want her to run and hide right now. She is out. So this tarantula is called Goody Sapphire Ornamental Tarantula. Polyciatheria is the genus, and Metallica is the species. So this genus is the same as the tarantula that we just looked at, but it's going to look much, much different. Let's see if I can get her in here. Oh, you cannot see her beautiful colors as well as I'd like you to. So this is a Goody Sapphire Ornamental. This tarantula is found in Sri Lanka. And it is actually a bright blue color. And I want to see if I can get that color better on my camera. So all those dark colors there, that is a bright sapphire blue. And then she's got some black markings, some gray, and then some bright yellow. Now you remember what those bright colors mean. Danger. Let's see if I can turn her around. Oh, don't hide. There's the other side. Whoops. I can't rotate my phone while doing the live. So she moved a little bit here. Let me come back over here and see if we can see her from this side. Some of her colors. She's got so much web and poo all over. There she is from that side. Okay, I pressed a button on my screen while I was trying to do that. Okay, so this is the Goody Sapphire Ornamental Tarantula. Bright blue colors. Ooh, that looks good. She's got bright blue colors, sapphire blue. Now, this tarantula right here is not quite as venomous as the last tarantula that we looked at. And it's not that likely to bite someone. It's more docile or calm, not aggressive. Now, another reason why these tarantulas are so venomous is because they don't have another way of protecting themselves that some other tarantulas have. So you may have heard that the hairs all over the tarantula's body, that they can flick them off when they feel threatened, and then those hairs will make you itch. So if a human gets them on their skin, they're gonna make them itch. If they get into an animal's eyes, it's gonna make their eyes water and they won't be able to see. And then if they breathe those hairs into their body, then it can cause irritation or cause it to hurt inside. So these tarantulas right here, these Polyciatheria tarantulas, they do not have those hairs. So their way of protecting themselves is their venom. These are called Old World tarantulas. So Old World tarantulas do not have hairs they can brush off, which are called urticating hairs. Did you see her move around there? That was pretty cool. Now you can see her spinnerets. Yes, this is P. metallica, Polyciatheria metallica. If you see her spinnerets back here where my fingers are, so at the very bottom where those spinnerets connect to her body, right here, she has these little glands, or they are able to secrete or let out the liquid that would make the web. And then as soon as it hits the air, the makeup of that web, it changes from liquid to the web that we see. So I'm gonna bring you up here to let you check out her tarantula hammock that she has made. It's very extensive. There's lots of places where she can go. Here's part of it over here. Now she's due for a cleaning, so she is going to, we will try not to destroy a lot of that web, but we will have to destroy some of it. She usually hangs out, where is my camera out? There you go. She usually hangs out up in here. This is like her hammock area. There's an opening right here that she goes into. She loves it. It's where she hangs out most of the time. But she knew that she was gonna be on show today, so she decided to hang out where we could see her really well. Now some might ask, why do you have a cup of rocks? So that cup of rocks is where we put the water for our animals, and you'll see those in most of our enclosures. And so we always want to offer water for the animals, and we put the rocks in there to help prevent them from drowning or getting stuck in the water, no matter how big they are, but also because we feed her crickets or cockroaches or mealworms. It all depends on the day of the week. And we don't want them to get into the water and drown and die, and then she can't eat them. So tarantulas are predators. They eat other animals, which is again why they need to have the venom. Okay, now we're gonna move on to another tarantula who has decided to hide. This tarantula is a Polyciatheria ornata, and we're in the middle of relabeling, moving all the labels to these types. So this one does not have its scientific name written on here. Where did you go, my friend? Oh boy, she is going to be tough to get out. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set you up on this tarantula real quick while I move her around, because I need both hands to be able to do this. So I'm gonna she's hiding, and I wanna be able to show you what she looks like, and I can't do that if she's hiding. So I am going to remove this log from her enclosure. Go. Let's see, is she under here now? Yes, she is. Actually, this one is a male. Okay, there he is. He's up. He's ready. You ready? Okay, we're gonna look at this before. Okay, this one is not as brightly colored as the other one, but I do think that this one is a male. Usually the males, well, it depends on the species of tarantula, but some of them, the males are more brown. They're not as brightly colored as the female. But again, there are species where the males are more brightly colored than the female, so it just all depends. So again, this is Polyciatheria ornata, also known as a fringed ornamental tarantula. This tarantula does come from Sri Lanka. Okay, my friend says, are all tarantulas venomous? Yes, all tarantulas are venomous. That's how they eat their food. So they cannot eat solid. Their venom turns their food, their prey, to liquid so that they can slurp it up in their little mouth that's under their fangs. Now you see the underside of this tarantula has those bright yellow markings on its leg. And look how long those legs are. So let me find... I want to set this down so I'm not moving around. A little shaky shake. Okay, so here's where things are going to get serious, and why I was so excited to show you these tarantulas and why we have them here at the insect zoo. So currently there are 14 to 16 species or kinds of these tarantulas. All of them are only found in India and Sri Lanka. Now, they're considered one of the biggest tarantulas in the world. They can grow up to 10 inches. That's how wide their legs are when they're outstretched. Like if you put your fingers, stretch out your fingers. So, again, the males, they mature much faster than the females, but they don't live as long as the females. The females can live up to 14 years, and the males only live 5 years, sometimes a little bit more. When they reproduce or mate, the female makes an egg sac. So she makes a special web that is used to make an egg sac, and that's just what it sounds like. It's a sack of eggs. Let's see if I can get this piece of wood to hang on to this. Whoops, that didn't work. Let's try it again. If I can just get it. So she will lay down some web on the ground, and then she will start laying eggs in there, and they look like looks kind of like tapioca pudding at first, and then the eggs start to form and get harder. They're not liquid anymore. And look at this. You see this cricket? There's a cricket in there. That's dinner. Or a roommate. We'll see. So, and they can lay 50 to 100 eggs in each egg sac. Now, something that's super cool about this genus, Polyciatheria, is they are considered, some of the species or kinds in that group are considered semi-social. So you remember the ants that we looked at, and I said they are social insects, so they would not be able to social distance or stay away from each other. So some of these tarantulas actually live in groups. They don't just live by themselves. And the little babies, after they hatch, they're called spiderlings, and they actually hang out in the same area as their mom for a long time until they start to wander away. Now, I said that all these tarantulas are found in India and Sri Lanka, and this tarantula we're looking at right now, the Polyciatheria ornata, or the fringed ornamental tarantula. I'm sorry, not ornamental, the fringed tarantula. This one is only found in 1 or 2 areas in Sri Lanka. And Sri Lanka is a very heavily forested area. That means there's lots of trees all over the place, which is really great. But guess what's happening to those trees? They are cutting them down. Deforestation, or the cutting down of forests, is happening all over the world. But in Sri Lanka, it is also happening. And where do these tarantulas live? Up in the trees. So if they're cutting down the trees, then where are these tarantulas going to live? I have a couple questions here I'll answer real quick while you think about that. How often do they need to eat? It depends on the age of the tarantula. So the younger tarantulas, the babies or juveniles or spiderlings, we feed them about 2 times a week. The older tarantulas, like this one that you're looking at right now, they get offered food once a week, but that does not mean that they always eat the food once a week. But we just make sure that we offer them something once a week so that they get to choose if they want to eat it. Now, if she does not eat this cricket that's in there right now, in a week, we will take that cricket out and we will wait a week before we offer her a new cricket. How do they stick to the glass? Oh, that's a great question, Claire. So if you look at the tarantula's little feet right here, they are covered in little teeny tiny hairs that are sticky. But they're not sticky like a slug might be sticky, or a piece of gum might be sticky, or glue might be sticky. It's just the hairs that adhere or stick to the glass. So I think that's also pretty cool. And let's see if I can see him. She's not showing me any right now, but they have these 2 little tarsal claws, which are little like toenails that hang off of their feet. And you see there's a slit right there. So it looks like she has 2 toes. So each one of those on each side has a little toenail or tarsal claw. Now she can use that to help her maneuver on her web, and also to grip things, because when she's climbing up trees, she needs to have a way to climb up that tree. Okay, so my friends, I asked a question about where would they live if they have no trees. What is the next tall thing? If all the trees are cut down, what's the next tall thing they're going to move into? Human buildings. Okay, do you remember how we talked about how venomous these tarantulas are? It hurts to be bitten. So how do you think people feel about these tarantulas? They are scared of them. People are scared of these tarantulas. So can you guess what they do when they see these tarantulas? They kill them. Do they just kill one of them? No, they kill all of them. Now, this tarantula right here is actually an endangered species. What does it mean to be an endangered species? It means that there are not many left on our earth. This is not the only species in this genus or group that is an endangered species. There are actually 5 that are currently endangered species. My friends, remember I said there are either 14 or 16 species or kinds of these tarantulas. 5 of them are endangered species. But guess what? It gets more sad. All of those others that are not endangered right now on that list are going to be put on that list. So it takes some time to be considered an endangered species. There has to be lots of evidence, and there are many scientists working on it. But pretty soon, all 14 species will be put on the endangered species list. Now, my friends, even though these tarantulas may be scary to us, maybe it hurts really bad when we get bitten by them, but they're a living animal. They live on our planet. They're important because they eat insects that eat our food, so they're very important to control the insects. Should we kill them just because we're afraid of them? No. We need to take care of our animals, all of them, even the tarantulas. Okay, now I know that might have been a little bit sad, but you can help take care of tarantulas by not killing them if you see them. We just leave them alone and let them do their own thing. All right, so I have some really cool tarantulas that I want to show you. I mean, the tarantulas we just looked at were really cool. But these next ones are also very cool, and I'm going to get these ones out. I have to move my stuff around a little bit. I'm going to turn my camera around. Hi, it's good to see you guys. Well, I can't see you, but you can see me, right? Okay, so this tarantula in here, check out this container. You know what this container is? It is a food storage container from the Container Store, and we just melted holes into the plastic and put some screen over it, and it has a lid that actually has an airtight seal, so it's easy to open and they can't get out. So this is a pink toe tarantula. So Aviculera is its genus, and guess what? Its species is also Aviculera. So Aviculera. And it has a really cool web. I'm gonna show you this web real quick. Check out that web. So all of the next tarantulas I'm going to show you are also this genus. I'll show you the genus name down here. So here it is, Aviculera, and then the little A right there just is the beginning of its species name, because we have a lot of these species. They sell these at pet stores, so I buy them from the pet stores because I feel like I'm rescuing them. This species of tarantula, it's not a beginner species. So if you want to keep tarantulas, do not start with a pink toe. These require a higher humidity, which is moisture in the air, and that is difficult to create that environment in your own home. You can't hear them right now because I have them off, but we also have the humidifiers, there they are, in this room, which is just like what we had in the walking stick room. Okay, so here she is. Now I'm gonna actually get her out, but I just wanted to let you see her awesome web. Do you see how it's above there? So again, Arboreal Tarantula. They live up above in the trees. Put that there. Now these ones are fast. I'm gonna get her out of here very gently. I'm just gonna coax her out, and I'm going to ask her to come up on my hand. There you go. Yeah. What do you think about that? All right, so there she is. This is a Viculera. It's a pink toe tarantula, and it's called a pink toe tarantula because look at her toes. You see those toes? They look pink. Now, tarantulas don't actually have toes, but if she did have toes, her toes would be pink. It's a little bit dark over here, so I'm gonna see if I can move us into some more light. It's a good thing I have enclosures sitting all over the bench, right? Okay, that's a little better color, right? So you can see how beautifully colored she is, and she's got hairs, long hairs all over her body. Those are called setae. I like to call them super hairs because they have superpowers. They use that setae to hear, to smell, to feel. And how do they hear? Vibrations. So if you put your hand on your neck and you say, "Hello, tarantula," you feel that vibration. That is how tarantulas hear, and they pick that up with the hairs on their body. Let me see. Oh, sorry, lady. So remember the last tarantula we looked at, I called them an old world tarantula? Well, these tarantulas are new world tarantulas, and they have hairs that they can flick off. But her hairs are on her legs up here. Most tarantulas that have them, they're on their abdomen or this part of the body back here. So you can see she's gonna go for a little walk. Is she cute? Look at her pink little toes. All right, well, she was very well behaved. I'm gonna put her back into her enclosure. What a good girl. What a good girl. Look at her. She just went right back in. She's like, okay, we're done. Thank you. All right, so next we have another, where is she? Viculera. Here she is. Okay. Now this tarantula I'm not going to take out, and that's just, oh, hi. That was very close. I'm going to turn this around. And that's just because she's much quicker. This is a Viculera versicolor. So this is a different species than the last one that we looked at. And it's actually the tarantula that's on my t-shirt. So she is not mature yet. So she does not have her mature colors, but she's gonna be more brightly blue. She does have blue metallic colors on her. I'm gonna open this so we can see her better. Okay. Let me get this down in here. There she is right there. Oh, you can see those beautiful blue color on her body. Isn't that just beautiful? Oh, she's so pretty. And again, those pink toes. Now, these tarantulas are found in tropical South America in all different places. And they are very common in the pet trade. But again, you should not keep this species if it's your first tarantula. Also, if you decide to have a tarantula as a pet, you need to make sure it was not taken out of the wild. We do not want to take tarantulas out of the wild. So you see those hairs all over the body that are called setae. It kind of looks like she's wearing fuzzy leggings, doesn't it? All right, let's put her little lid back on here. All the tarantulas are being well behaved. Maybe it's because they miss visiting kids. Now, the Viculera tarantulas, there are so many species that we don't really know if they're a new species or if they are just kind of like a subspecies or sort of a new species. And this is one of them. So the common name for this is a yellow banded pink toe. And it is also very, very fuzzy. And you see here, so she has flicked off some of her hairs, which she does have also on her abdomen. But you see how there's a dark color right here, and then it's all light over here? Can you see that? So that tells me that she is getting ready to molt. Uh-oh. Well, we lost some connection there. Are you guys still there? So she's getting ready to molt or shed her exoskeleton. Okay, we are losing connection. So the other day I opened the door. I'm gonna do that again, but we have to keep that door shut. Okay, so here we are again. So she is getting ready to molt or shed her exoskeleton. So molting or shedding the exoskeleton, remember these tarantulas has skeletons on the outside of the body. So when they want to grow, they have to take that skeleton off. And then they grow a new skeleton. So right now her new skeleton is growing underneath of her, but it's not hard yet. And her skeleton that's already there is starting to come off of her body. And that's why you can see the lighter part and then the darker that's still connected there. So I do have a molt, or the exoskeleton that was taken off of one of our ornamental tarantulas that passed away about 3 years ago. So she was very old because she was very big. Let me get the tape off of this so that I can open this up for you guys. Oh, that side is already open. Okay, so this is a molt of an ornamental tarantula. So we looked at this tarantula first. There's one alive. So this is the molt of an ornamental tarantula. So a tarantula, when they molt, they flip over on their back. And then they pop open this piece, which this piece would normally be covering right here. They pop open that piece and they start to come out of it. And during that time, they are very vulnerable to being eaten by other animals because they can't move. So this part right here would be her abdomen. Now, do you see those white spaces or white areas right there? Those are her book lungs. So tarantulas breathe through lungs that are open on the underside of the body, which is why they don't move a lot, because their book lungs actually will close as they are walking, and that's just because of the way the muscles work. Now this tarantula, all tarantulas, I'm gonna flip her over here, gotta be very careful. They also molt their fangs. Look at that, those are the fangs. Get up close there. So every time they shed that exoskeleton, they grow new fangs. Isn't that amazing? She's super pretty. Let's see if I can see her. Nope. Her little feet. Look how cute those are. And again, this back here is her abdomen. Here's one of her spinnerets right here. Now, to tell if a tarantula is a male or female, it's best to wait until they molt or shed their exoskeleton like this one did. And let me find my forceps again. To tell, you look at this area right here. So if it's a female, it has ovaries that makes the eggs, and there's a flap. And she's really dry, so I'm not gonna pull up the flap. But that flap sits right in between those ovaries. So that's how you tell if it's a male or a female tarantula. I get that question a lot, and it's kind of difficult to explain it to people, so it's better to show it. Okay, so now I have some true spiders that I want to show you. This first one right here is a jumping spider. Now, what is a true spider and what is a tarantula? So true spiders are actual spiders. So they will use their web to catch their food, or they have, all true spiders have fangs that can move up and down and side to side like that. So that's how true spiders' fangs move. But tarantula's fangs only move up and down. So you could be a big hairy spider and not be a tarantula, like wolf spiders. So this is a jumping spider, a regal jumping spider. Let's see, we're a little bit blurry there. Let's focus in on the spider. Look how cute they are. Does the new exoskeleton have hair on it right away? Yes, it does. But it takes anywhere from a couple hours to a couple days for the exoskeleton to get hard. So the tarantula would not be able to flick those hairs off until it's hard. But it does have those hairs on it, and it can feel and hear and smell with those hairs. So let's see if this little guy will let me get him out. Jumping spiders. Well, did you see him jump? Jumping spiders are very nice spiders. They're very cute. Look at those eyes. Can you see his little eyes right there? And they're very curious. They like to see what is going on. They want to know what you are doing and what everything else is doing. So if you find jumping spiders in your garden, you want them to stay there because they are eating the insect pests, or the insects that would eat the food that you want to eat that's in your garden, or they eat your pretty flowers. So we always like to have jumping spiders around. Let me see if he's or she's gonna let me. Whoops, sorry, I turned my phone the wrong way, trying to get these guys around here. Let me flip this, get an enclosure, set this up. I gotta keep an eye on the spider and on what I'm doing. Come here, little friend. Hi. What do you think? Whoops. He changed his, or she changed her mind right at the last minute. Come here. Now jumping spiders, whoop, she is not having it. She is just like, I am gonna just jump around. I think that this is the one that is a little more crazy. Hey there. Hi, friend. Let's see if you want to come up here and check out our camera. See if we can focus on this. Okay. Little lady. It's focusing on me. Okay, let me turn this around. Whoop! Clara says, how many eyes do they have? Well, so these guys have 8 eyes. There he is. Oh my goodness, isn't he so cute? Look at that little jumping spider. So these jumping spiders, they don't use web to catch their food. They jump on their prey. And they are so fast. And they let out web that helps keep them attached to whatever they jumped from. So if they miss their target, they don't fall way down. And you see those little pedipalps? Right there, it looks like he's got a fuzzy mustache. Those are his little her little pedipalps. Isn't she just so cute? I love jumping spiders so much. We could just sit here and watch this jumping spider all day if you want to. Okay, but seriously, I'm gonna put her away. I'm gonna give you a good view of a little tarantula right here, because this might be a little, there you go. Oh, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so that was the jumping spider, but I have another jumping spider that has a surprise for us. Let me just check this out real quick. Oh my goodness. Oh, there are babies. My friends, Magic Now the girls want a pet jumping spider. Of course, every girl should have a pet jumping spider. My friends, so you see this this webbing right here? So jumping spiders make an egg sac, which is right in here in this area, and then they web up over it with extra protection. And guess what all these little tiny things are? Those are baby jumping spiders. Now, unfortunately, she made that right along the edge, right where... Look at that. Those are baby jumping spiders. Can you see them moving? Oh, I can't wait until they come out. So we would get this, we will let these babies grow bigger. They'll live with their mom for a little bit longer. And then we will take them out and we will set them up in their own little enclosure. Let's see, one of my friends says, I thought I would get some housework done while my son watched this video, but I got sucked in too. Yes, well, it is for adults also, and housework is lame. Just ask my husband. I was like, we are going to clean the entire house. Then we started painting. But oh my gosh, my friends, so this is the same kind of spider, the jumping spider that we looked at, that I took out over there, and she is a mom. I can't wait to watch those little babies grow up. So I have another true spider here for you. This one is big, big, big. This is a huntsman spider. This is the genus of this spider. Now this huntsman spider, I collected when I was down in Arizona. Actually, I think one of my friends collected it while we were there, and then they gave it to me. Goodness. I'm gonna get this lid off of here a bit so that we can see it. Okay, so this is another true spider. And they have a very long leg span. In fact, this is the huntsman spiders are the largest spiders. Oh, sorry, I keep rotating the screen. Huntsman spiders are the largest spiders, and the largest huntsman is found in Australia. This one was not found in Australia. Again, this one is found in Arizona. And I wish that she would just kind of spread out her legs a little bit for us here. You have some old food here. Is it stuck on you? She's got some old food. So when they eat their prey, they will, they leave the exoskeleton because their venom cannot digest the exoskeleton. So they just suck out the insides of it. And then they web up the skeleton and leave it behind. And she's got this stuck on her. I'm going to have to get that off of her later. That's kind of weird. Yeah, it's like stuck all over her. Okay, I want to show you her awesome fangs. Let's see if I can get it like this. Oh, look at that. Look how cool she is. Now, we do have huntsman spiders around here in Iowa, and if you're watching from other places, you probably have huntsman spiders too. They're a very common spider. They're found all over the place. Look how cool she is. There's little ones, there's big ones, and actually she was very little whenever I brought her back from Arizona, so she has grown a lot. That was last July, August, beginning of August. And so she has grown so fast. Oh, I have a question. So tiny, how many are in there? Oh, you're asking about the babies. You know what? I did not count them. Let's look. Oh, now she's over here on the lid. Go inside. 1. Can you count them with me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I'd say maybe 30. 25 to 30 in there.
And you're right, they are so cute. Okay, so my next animals I have over here on this cart because these are kept in a different room. So I'm going to show you another true spider that is a black widow. So this is a black widow spider. Hope I didn't grab my forceps. You'll have to excuse the mess of our room because we only have one student working right now and me. And so we are focusing on taking care of the animals and not a lot on cleaning. So I usually have 5 students working, and right now we only have 1. So it doesn't typically look this messy in here. So her name is Fiona. She is a female black widow spider, and I am going to open this, but if you ever come across a black widow spider, you should not mess with it. Black widow spiders are not aggressive, meaning that they're not gonna like seek out and try to bite you. In fact, look, I'm poking her. She's not attacking. She's actually moving away from my, you see that? She's moving away from my forceps because she is scared. She knows that it's very big. I don't know if you can hear that. Can you hear this? Listen. That is the sound of her web. It sounds kind of like Velcro. She's up here. You hear? It's so strong. Come here, my friend. I just want to show you my friends. There, that's a better spot for you. Okay, check that out. So you can now see the red hourglass shape on her abdomen, sort of. Let me just clean that out a little bit more. Okay, look, there you go. Okay, so this is a black widow. This is a western black widow. There are several species or kinds here in the United States. This is one of them. So this one was collected in Arizona. And I said in the beginning that black widows are not aggressive. So that means they're not going to come after you. They hide in places mostly in the wood or in outdoor areas. They don't like to come inside human houses at all. If you are in Iowa, you're watching this in Iowa, very rare to find a black widow spider in Iowa. But there are lots of spiders that look like black widow spiders, but they are not. I want you to just go back over to that little area. But you notice that when I am poking her web, what direction does she go? She goes away because she is scared. She's afraid of what I might do to her. She thinks I'm going to eat her or something. Now, her abdomen is very, very big, and that happens whenever they're going to have babies. So she's making babies in there, and she's going to make an egg sac, which I'm going to show you in the next enclosure. Now, what about a bite from a black widow spider? I have heard that black widow spiders are the most venomous spiders in the world, but that is not true. Black widow spider bites hurt very, very, very bad. And if you have something wrong with your body, like you have something wrong with your heart, and you are bitten by a black widow spider, it could cause you to have a heart attack if you don't go to the doctor. Now, if you also have something wrong with your immune system, which is how you fight off all the germs that you come into contact with, and you're bitten by a black widow spider, it could make you even more sick, and if you don't go to the doctor, you could die. But nobody has died from a black widow spider in a very, very, very long time. Okay, so now I want to show you what her egg sac looks like, and I have that over here. So, would they live in a backyard? Yes, but it depends on where you are at. So if you tell me what state you're in, I can tell you if you have black widow spiders there. You can also, if you Google search and you say black widow range map bug guide, then it'll pull up the bug guide website with the range map for black widow spiders. And Bug Guide is actually hosted by Iowa State University Entomology Department. And you can post pictures of bugs on Bug Guide and people will identify them for you. It's really cool. Okay, so you see these balls right here? Those are egg sacs. And it's really messy in here because there are lots of tiny babies. You see all those teeny tiny babies all over? Do you see those little specks? Those are all black widow babies. We call them spiderlings. You can see them running around in there. You see that one there? Just fell down. So we try to separate the egg sacs before they hatch, but sometimes that doesn't happen. And so it ends up hatching out into this. And then we use something called an aspirator, which is like a little vial with a plastic tube and a metal tube. And you suck through the plastic tube. You put the metal tube onto the spider, and then you suck through the plastic tube, and then it will suck it into the little vial, but not into your throat. So this female right here, she made all these egg sacs. And you see she is much thinner than our other friend over there. So it's hard to clean this out when there are little babies all over the place in there. So I want to show you a little bit bigger baby. So this is what we put the babies into. And she's going to be the same color as my skin. But there is the little baby. You can see the white little dot there. That is the abdomen. You can see it from there. Let's see, then we have a bigger one. What are you? Oh no, you're my other friend. Let's see. And here's another one. Now, all of these that I'm showing you are females. But this one right here is a male. So the males are much smaller than the females. So we will try to mate him with one of our females that has not been mated yet. The males do mature or grow much faster than the females. Like here's an egg sac that we hope to hatch inside here. Okay, now I have a brown recluse spider. And I'm going to set my camera facing down like this because I have to do some maneuvering of this one because it's all webbed up there. So here is the brown recluse up here. Now brown recluse, their venom is very, very strong. It causes necrosis or rotting of the skin. He needs to be cleaned. Causes necrosis or rotting of the skin, which is very bad. Again, brown recluse, if you are in Iowa, not a common spider in Iowa. If you're in Missouri, very common. I want you to move just a little bit. So it's hard to see. He's not gonna really come out so we can see her. It's actually a girl. But they do have a shape of a violin on the back, on their abdomen, where their thorax, where the legs touch the body. It's actually a cephalothorax. But the best way to identify a brown recluse spider is to capture it safely with a cup and put it in the freezer, and then look at the eyes. Pull it out and look at the eyes, and they have 3 sets of 2 eyes right in front of their head. 3 sets of 2 eyes. It's the best way to identify a brown recluse spider. Oh, we have somebody watching from the UK. That's awesome. Welcome. I hope things are going well there. Okay, my friends, those are all the true spiders and tarantulas. And now I just want to show you some centipedes. So centipedes are not an insect. But they are an arthropod. So they have that exoskeleton. And this centipede right here is the genus. Remember that genus is the group. This is Scolopendra, and actually all of them that I'm going to show you are Scolopendra genus. And this one is from the deserts of Arizona. Come here, friend. Hello. Look how big she is. So doesn't it look like she has two heads? She does not have two heads, but she does pretend to have two heads. Gotta close this up so she does not get out. But she pretends to have two heads. So, oh, she's missing her water. She needs to have her water filled up. She loves her water bowl. She likes to just curl up in there. That's why we gave her a nice big deep one. So you see the orange part back here? That's the end of her body. Up here is her head. But they look very similar, don't they? So these orange things here are her antennae. That's how she feels around and smells. But she has those legs on the back there, which are now inside her water bowl. There they are right there. She has her orange legs back there that are supposed to look like her orange antennae up here. And that's to protect herself from predators, but also to trick her prey, the animals she wants to eat. Centipedes are a predator. They eat other animals. And so they use them. Look, she just settled right back down. They use them to be like, hey, my head's over here. But instead, it's really right here, and it's about to bite you with my fangs, which is what I want to show you right now. I was hoping she would settle down in a little other position, but she's not. Okay. So I'm going to use my forceps here to show you. So here's her head. You see the antenna is coming off of her head. And then this is actually where her body starts. So centipedes have two body parts, the head, and then the whole rest of the body is called the trunk. So if you look right here, there's this black part coming off of this first segment or section of her body. Those are venom claws. That, my friends, is how she injects or puts venom into her prey. Now, these centipedes are very venomous. And we don't think that they can kill you, but it does hurt very, very, very bad to be bitten by one of these centipedes. Now, if you live somewhere in the United States where, like in Iowa, the biggest centipedes we have here in Iowa are a little garden centipede. They're orange and red. They're very small. They're only about, oh, I don't want to put my ugly thumb in there. Sorry, I sliced my thumb. They can get to be about that big, but they're very thin. I sliced my thumb up the other day with a razor blade. Not fun. Okay, so that was one Scolopendra. That one is found in the United States in Arizona. Here is another Scolopendra that is also found in the United States in Arizona. Now this is, again, Scolopendra is the genus of these centipedes, not scorpions. So I'm going to put this camera up like this. So this one is a juvenile. So it's going to grow much bigger than it is right now. There's its little antennae right there wiggling like, hey, what's going on? What's happening? I'm going to move your little house, my friend, so that we can see you. Look at that one. Aren't they cool creatures? Different color. This is a different species or different kind. And you notice how it just wants to hide. So these are not out in the open very often. they like to hide. Most animals like this like to hide because they don't want to be eaten. That's what it's looking for right now, is a place to hide. It's going to start digging. Aren't they so cool? So each one of these rings, do you see the rings? Those are called segments. And for each segment, a centipede has 2 legs. There, it's going to dig down. Okay, we're going to put your house back. When you're looking for bugs, make sure that you always return things to the way they were. So if you pick up a rock or a piece of wood or something to look under it, make sure you put it back, because that is the bug's house. There are lots of bugs that live underneath there. So how would you like it if somebody came and picked up your house and looked underneath of it and then didn't put it back? That would not be very nice. So when you're out bug hunting, make sure that you are putting whatever you pick up back where you found it. Okay, this is another centipede. This one is another Scolopendra species. So you can get a radar on where it's at before I start moving things around, because these are fast. So this one is a Vietnamese centipede. This is found in Asia, not found in the United States. And you notice different color. And it is thought that this kind or species of centipede is more venomous than the other ones that we looked at, which means that it has a stronger venom. So you notice I'm not touching these. And that's because I don't want to be bitten, because it hurts. So let's oh, there she goes. Where'd she go? Over there. Look how big and fat she is. She's very pretty centipede. Okay. I'm going to turn this around. Guess what, friends? That is everything that I have to share with you today. So I thank you so much for joining us. We miss coming and teaching you guys in person, especially me. I love coming to see you guys, so I can't wait until I get to see you guys again and teach all you kids with some hands-on bug experiences. If you are looking forward to this summer, I'm going to put out a list of the libraries and the fairs that we're going to be attending here in Iowa. I will get that up soon so you can get those on your calendars. We are doing the Bug Olympics this summer, and I'm half thinking that maybe we should postpone that to next year, since they are doing, they've postponed the Olympics, the Summer Olympics. So I'm probably going to reach out to the libraries and places and see how they feel about that. But either way, we're hoping to be out in full force this summer. We have a booked schedule. We're going to be places every day. So if you are interested in having the insect zoo visit, you can go to our website, which is zoo.ent.iastate.edu, and there you'll find all of the information about our programming and the fees that we charge to visit. We also do family visits, so if you want to come and visit us, you fill out that same request form and just select a family visit. Of course, right now we are restricted. We cannot go out. And that is until May 9th right now. So we're going to keep everybody updated on that and what is happening with that. So thank you guys for visiting. Go forth and love the bugs.